My name's Mel and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Bookish Brummy. Today is the 8th of October, so we are 1 week into spooky season, which means I've had 1 week to tackle my very ambitious spooky reading list. We've got the basket here. We can see I have a lot of books that I said that I wanted to get through in this month. Now I have managed to make some progress, so I just thought we would have a video and talk about the progress that I've made on my TBR pile and what's next really. So I finished reading It. I finished this yesterday. It's quite a chunky one. It's the biggest one that I had in the pile, standing at 1067 pages. Overall, I think the star rating that I would give for this is 4 stars. I might have given it more, but there was maybe a scene in there which I'm probably thinking anybody who's read the book knows what I'm on about, which for me has sort of marked the book down from what was probably potentially going to be a 4.75 before. But this is quite a complex story and there are a lot of characters in this book, and I feel like there's more to say than just a couple of minutes. So I'd like to make a video on this, which I'll probably post later this week, where I review this book properly. But I did really enjoy this read. So this is like a horror thriller, one of Stephen King's classics, which he wrote in the 80s, and I'm really pleased that I finally actually read this book. And I would say if you're into Stephen King, you really do need to read this book, because I just think it's one of the classics from his collection really, and I'm glad that I can finally say that I've read it, and I look forward to doing the review. Also, I had previously mentioned that I was listening to the Audible Triflers Need Not Apply by Camilla Bruce. Now I finally actually finished that, and I have to say I was really impressed, and I would actually give that a 5-star. And although that's not on my Halloween TBR reading list, I did want to get that finished off. I think that listening to audiobooks also counts towards my spooky reading experience, and I think that if I hadn't started that prior to October, I would say it's a good one for anybody who's looking for a kind of creepy book to listen to in October. And basically it's a historical fiction, but it's based on a real life character called Brunhild Storseth, and she is a serial killer who used to live in Norway at the turn of the 20th century. And she was originally born in the middle of the 19th century, and then she moved to America just before she was 30, and she sort of under the radar of authorities for most of her life really, but then after her house burned down, her children were found deceased in that fire, and also there was a young woman found in there, and there was a little bit of a debate about whether that body was hers or not, and it's thought that it might not have been, but consequently after the house burned down, the grounds were looked at by authorities and they began to uncover a lot of bodies from the grounds, and it's actually thought that she may have been responsible for 40 or more deaths, so it's quite incredible really. So that's sort of the foundation that Camilla Bruce has built her story on, and essentially as she's taken Brunhild and she's used her correct name, and then when Brunhild has moved to America, she's changed her name to Bella Sonnensen Gunnis, and Camilla Bruce uses that name, but the author is also quite explicit in the afterwards, saying that all the smaller details about Bella's family and how they acted towards her and what they knew, and how Bella even came to become a serial killer. This is all just Camilla Bruce's mind making up the fiction, because she didn't know the answers to those questions, and she herself is also from Norway and had heard this story of Bella Gunnis, and just wanted to write something that was a bit more complete. And I have to admit, it is a fantastic listen. It was also narrated really well. There are 2 narrators that narrate it, because it's from 2 points of view. You have the point of view of Bella, and then you also have the point of view of her sister. And I think that I've never heard anybody talking about this book. I've never heard anybody reviewing this book or this author, and it was so good. I think it's one of the best things that I may have listened to on Audible this year, and it definitely made me want to go out and actually find some more stuff that Camilla Bruce has written. So I really recommend that, and I'd recommend it as a read this month. Because to be honest, there's nothing more terrifying than a serial killer, if I'm honest. So yeah, so off the back of that, now that I finished that, listening to that on Audible, I have picked my spooky listen for this month, which is The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. So I've seen quite a few reviews of this, and even just the title of it appealed to me. I think that it probably sounds like quite a good listen for the Halloween season. I can't really say much about it at the moment because I'm only 2 hours in, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. I feel like the first vampire attack may have happened, but we'll see. So with regards to the physical TBR, I finished it now, and the next book I've opted to pick up is Anno Dracula by Kim Newman. So I started reading this last night. I'm about 70 pages in. It's completely different to it, different kind of book. I'd say that this is historical fiction, fantasy, horror, I guess, in a way. There are obviously vampires involved. It's set in Victorian London, and essentially Count Dracula has married Queen Victoria, and people in London are making themselves willingly into vampires. So that's sort of like the backbone of it. And then you have the Whitechapel murders going on, which were obviously originally attributed to Jack the Ripper, but these are happening to vampire women only. And this is how the book has started off, essentially. And so there's an investigation going into that, trying to find out who is actually killing these vampire women and why. But I've also noticed other characters mentioned, like Sherlock Holmes, Oscar Wilde, so that's quite good as well. And Van Helsing has obviously also been mentioned. So I actually think this is going to be a really, really fun read. It's not serious at all, and it's a completely different change of pace from It, which I read before. So I think that I'm going to have a good time reading that. I don't think that it's going to really take me very long to get through it. The book is not actually as big as it looks. There's quite a bit in here of notes and stuff afterwards, so the story in itself is not that long. The only thing is, I noticed when I started reading it that it is one of a series, so this is the first one in the series, and apparently there's some other books in it, which is not a problem, because if I enjoy this read, then obviously I'll be looking forward to delving into the rest of the series. It's just I feel like I have quite a lot of series on the go right now, so now I've just inadvertently started another one that I may have to continue with if I enjoy this. So I think that's it for now. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update on where I am 7 days after I started my spooky reading challenge. I hope that your reading for the spooky season is going well as well, and if you have read anything that I've mentioned in this video and have any comments to make on it, then I'd really like to hear them. If not, watch out for later this week, where I'm going to do a more in-depth review of It by Stephen King. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.